content migrated cleanly. The automation stopped on day one. Every SharePoint migration has a scope that the file inventory does not capture. The file inventory lists the content. It does not list the automations that run against that content. The Power Automate flows that trigger when a document is uploaded. The approval workflows that reference a specific library path. The reporting connections that pull from a list that is about to move. When those automations are not inventoried before the migration starts, they fail the day the content moves. The SharePoint library they reference no longer exists at the URL they were built against. The failure is silent until a business process that depends on them stops running. The dependency inventory is the first step, not an optional one. Before any content batch moves, I require a complete map of every automation that touches content and scope. Power Automate flows triggered by SharePoint events in the migrating libraries. Flows that reference list data from sites being migrated. Power Apps connected to lists or libraries in the migration scope. External integrations, reporting tools, line of business systems, data feeds that pull from SharePoint paths changing in the migration. Each dependency is a sequencing constraint. It cannot be broken without planning for how it will be reconnected. Updating automation references before content moves, not after. The standard sequencing error in integration-aware migration is to move the content, then fix the broken automation. This approach guarantees a window where business processes that depend on those automations are not running. In some cases, that window is hours. In organizations with time-sensitive workflows, compliance deadlines, approval chains, external reporting obligations, it is a gap the business cannot absorb. The correct sequence is update automation references to the destination path. Validate that the automations run correctly in the destination, then cut over the content. The automation environment has to be ready before the content moves, not after. Testing automation in the destination before content cutover. When automation references are updated to the destination environment, they need to be tested against content that exists in the destination. This requires seeding representative test content in the destination, a sample of the library structure, list schema, and document types the automation will encounter. Automations should be running and validated in the destination before any production content moves. This validation cannot happen against an empty library. It requires representative structure and a test run of every automation against it. Dependency inventory, reference updates before migration, validation before cutover. The migration does not succeed when the files arrive. It succeeds when the automations that run against them are running correctly in the new environment. That validation has to be in the acceptance criteria before go live, not a post-migration check after users report failures. The next video covers cutover and coexistence planning for organizations that cannot stop during a migration, a sequencing problem with its own set of automation considerations.